This is a 1958 ES-335, and it is by far the cleanest example we have ever seen here at the Chicago Music Exchange. It is absolutely magic and way too special a guitar for me not to do an emergency video on. So welcome to the emergency 335 video. This is one of the cleanest examples we have ever seen, and before I get into this specific 335 and why it is so completely magic, what I want to do first is talk a little bit about the history of guitars in the late 50s and what was going on. 1954, Fender introduces the Fender Stratocaster, as we all know. That guitar took off like crazy. The solid body electric boom was in full flight by the time 1958 rolls around. In a nutshell, Fender was eating Gibson's lunch. Their sales were crazy, and obviously Gibson being a company, they wanted to compete with what Fender had going on. Gibson obviously has one of the most incredible track records at the time when it comes, and to this day, but definitely at the time, when it comes to acoustic guitars. They also have experience building electric guitars. So Larry Ehlers and Ted McCarty put their minds together and came up with what they consider to be an entirely new category of guitar based upon their acoustic lineage and their electric lineage, hence the 335. Now, this guitar obviously has a center block, and the whole point of that center block was to stop feedback from happening. Obviously increases the resonance of the guitar as well. So that's a little bit of the backstory of what's going on with guitar making at the time and the rivalry between Fender and Gibson. Let's talk about this guitar in particular. 1958 335, first year 335. Now, for the astute observer, you will notice that this guitar is missing something that most 335s have. Yes, you are correct. It is not bound. There is no binding on this neck. That makes this an early 335. So the 335s were first introduced in the Gazette catalog. I believe it was the Gibson Gazette in March of 1958. And by April of 1958, they were in production of 335s. Now, the early 335s did not have binding. So again, this is an early 335, but there's some other key features about this guitar that make it very special. Most importantly is that this is a thin top 335, which again is an early feature. Later in 58, 335s would have 4-ply tops. This has a 3-ply top. For those who collect and those who love and play these guitars, one of the very first things you look for or look at when you're looking at a 3-ply thin top is that output jack, because what tends to happen is you get a lot of cracking or that sort of thing because you have 3 plies of wood. This example shows none of that, which is one of the reasons it's so incredible. Second thing, this top is structurally so very sound, and you're not going to be able to see it in the camera. Maybe you will, but I doubt it. But if you look in the F-holes there, the plies are super tight, 1000% intact. So in other words, it's as if this 335 rolled off the line and appeared in 2026 at Chicago Music Exchange. There's no cracking here, there's no delamination happening here. It is absolutely perfection. Another cool thing about this guitar, I love history. I don't know about you guys, I love history. But another cool thing about this guitar and the early 335s is that they had a shallower neck angle, neck pitch. So what Gibson did to compensate for that is they had basically a shaved ABR1 or a thinner ABR1. And by doing that, they allowed the guitar to intonate and for the action to be set and all that good stuff. Now, this particular example has tons of adjustability, and the neck set is super, super tight. Intonation is on point. The action is totally perfect. It's as if you built in 1958 335, and this is the example that the others were based on. The neck pitch, the neck angle, not an issue when it comes to this guitar. Now, this particular bridge here has been changed with a repro bridge, but the original bridge is right here, and it simply drops in. Absolutely no modifications were made whatsoever when this was installed, which is so cool. When this guitar originally launched, the guitar itself in Sunburst was $267.50, and the natural version was $282.50. A case would be sold separately for $48. In addition to having the original bridge, we have something you rarely have. Hang tags. Original frickin' hang tags. Hallelujah. Look at that. Original schematic here. I mean, unbelievable. And I love, see, you got the original key to the freaking case, and they wrote here, here's the thing. I was born in Oklahoma. I don't know if you guys know about that. And I grew up on a farm in southeastern Oklahoma, McCurtain County, a little small town in, I'm not gonna tell you the town, a little small town in McCurtain County. And if you know McCurtain County, you know McCurtain County. And we had cows, and my grandma had a book, and she would write the names of all the cows, when they were born, when they died, how many babies they had, and all the names she gave them. It's one of the sweetest parts of my life. I still remember it like yesterday. And this handwriting here, this reminds me of that. I love it. This world is moving towards ridiculous technology. The world is changing super fast. I think we can all agree. It's just so cool that you can still see these analog tools and handwritten notes on envelopes with keys. I just think it's the sweetest thing. And the fact that we have this guitar, this beautiful 58 335 in the condition that it is in with hang tags, it's beyond words. It's a once in a lifetime thing. I'll probably never see something this clean come through the shop in terms of a 1958 335, which is why I wanted to share it with you so badly. It's a transitional guitar because by the time late 58 rolls around, things have changed. We've gone from 3-ply to 4-ply. We've got a bound neck. The neck angle has been changed. The bridge has been changed because of the neck angle. Lots of changes happened, but this was really the birth. It was the beginning of figuring it out. And what's amazing is that this isn't just like a wall hanger. This guitar plays. It sounds incredible. And the shallow neck angle has no bearing whatsoever on the playability, because this example is just really the benchmark for which all other 335s from 58 must have been based upon, because it's literally perfect. That's all I got for you today, you guys. I love this guitar. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, and it marks such a wonderful, special time in American history. American building, handmade. I love it. If you are interested in this guitar, it is available. My email is below in the description. Please do let me know. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I don't know when you'll ever have another one. And if you ever wanted one to rule them all, well, here it is. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I love you very much. Be well, and I will talk to you soon.